Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Monday Morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures and commodities are trading higher. So far, it looks like the market wants to do a little buying on Monday morning. Now, we don't have any major economic numbers coming out this morning to spook the market. Now, the VIX ended Friday on a sell signal, trading in the channel. We need a close on Monday above 1782. If that were to happen, that would be negative for stocks. So far, the VIX is trading lower in the pre-market. Now, we're still projecting lower prices here for the US dollar index. It did trade higher on Friday. The euro was down slightly. The Canadian dollar was up slightly on Friday, and it is still on a daily buy signal. Looking at the bond market, we had a pullback in the bond market, but certainly no change in trend on Friday. Bond yields moved up. Again, no change in trend. Now, the XBB and the TLT were both down on Friday. When I show these bond charts, I have no expectations that you're going to be trading these. The average true range on the XBB right now is 0.5%. That is less than half of what the stock market is moving at, and of course, dramatically lower than the average stock that we follow. So, if you don't want to make money, you can trade the bond market. The reason that I focus on the bond market is if you look at the futures contracts, you get much more leverage in the futures market than you do in the stock market. So if you really want to trade the bond market, you need to trade the futures contracts, not the ETFs. Now, moving on to the major index ETFs, starting off in the Canadian market, the iShares for the TSX 60 and the Vanguard Canada ETF, both trading and closing in the channel. Not a lot of help here from the energy sector. It was up under 0.5% on Friday, having an inside day. Is still on a daily sell signal. That's also true for the financials, which were down slightly on Friday. And then we had gold stocks reversing. Gold is up sharply in the pre-market this morning, so certainly, there's the possibility we could take out the high from last October on Monday. You can see we're stuck here at 25.76. Our next target to the upside is 26.56. Now, looking at the panic zone chart for the TSX Global Gold Index, we don't have an early warning signal just yet, but we are ranked at 10 at the top of the panic zone. So this is not the time and place to be putting money into the gold market. Looking at the Dow traded right down to the lower channel line on Friday. Had a lot to do with Nike moving sharply lower on Friday, making a new low for this move. We had Amazon roll over back on a sell signal, and Apple still on a sell signal. No change in trend for Apple. Looking at the SPY, we traded right down into the channel on Friday. So we're still holding above $600. We closed at $600.77. On Monday, if we get a close below 598.36, that would give us a new sell signal. Of course, we're not pointing in that direction in the pre-market. If we can take out the 609.38 level, then 625 does come into play. Then looking at the NASDAQ 100, we need a close on Monday below 518.83. Again, we're trading higher in the pre-market. On Friday, we hit our 531.25 target once again, and then reversed. If we can take out the recent high, then look for a move up to 546.88. Now, looking at the U.S. most actives, we were watching NVIDIA on Thursday. It closed just above the upper channel line. It's very hard to see that, but we did get a buy signal for NVIDIA from Thursday's trading action, and we were looking to see if there was going to be fall through to the upside, and there was on Friday. So we are trading into the open gap. Unfortunately, we're trading from the underside of the flypaper channel, so not expecting a lot of more upward movement from here, but we could be wrong. The market might want to move up and fill that open gap. Looking at Rigetti Computing, it traded down the lower channel line on Friday. A close below 1244 on Monday would give us a sell signal. No joy for Ford, making a new low for this move on Friday. No joy for Advanced Micro Devices. Of course, the stock has been in a downtrend for quite a while, and you can see the skid mark across the bottom of the screen telling us the stock is broken. We're heading towards $100. That could be where the stock may find some support. Of course, the upside is limited here to the flypaper channel. If we start turning around and moving higher, You may want to give the stock a little more room and not use the right side chart to turn over to the midterm chart and wait for more market participation on the upside if and when that starts to happen. Looking at Palantir, new high for Palantir on Friday. We're stuck at 112.50. If we can move higher on Monday, then 125 would be our next target for Palantir. Then looking at Snap, and Snap's been driving investors nuts for a few months now. And, if you're a Snap follower, I would probably want to let the stock break out above the high from early January before I get involved. Right now, it's just churning people's accounts. Looking at Supermicro, it had a nice week last week, 3 nice up days there. Unfortunately, it's run into the flypaper channel, and it would be extraordinary if it could break out above the flypaper channel, but here we are stuck in the channel once again. We saw Uber finally decide which way to go. It had a very volatile week, going back and forth, and then finally on Friday, it took a hint and started to climb. Had a nice big up day on Friday. No joy for Alphabet after gapping lower on Tuesday, continued to move lower on Friday. Then Lucid trading back in the channel at the moment. A close below $2.76 would give us a new sell signal on Monday. Let's finish off this morning's presentation, taking a look at the TSX most actives from Friday. Starting off with Enbridge, looking for a close on Monday above 65.95. For Manulife, we're looking for a close above 43.56. No joy for TELUS. It is back on a sell signal as of Friday's close. Good things happen to good stocks, bad things happen to bad stocks, and some stocks just shout, "Leave me alone." Unfortunately, BCE is one of those stocks. It traded up to almost fill the open gap. The top of the gap was at 35.92. We got as high as 35.90 last week, so just 2 cents away from filling the gap. If we start breaking down below 31.25, we would expect some psychological support at $30 and then a move down to 28.13. And there's a Canopy Growth also rolling over on Friday. So it popped on Wednesday. It gapped higher. We were not expecting that buy signal, but we saw some fall through on Thursday and then a complete rollover on Friday. And so the market still hates that stock. It still hates BCE, and it still hates Rogers. And if Rogers can turn around from here, we're looking for a move up to the flypaper channel. So opportunities are limited at this time. And it's another stock I would probably let the market, run it up. And hopefully, if we can get more conservative money, longer term money to come back into the stock, that's when I would want to be a buyer of Rogers. Looking at Suncor, we're looking for a close on Monday above 56.06. For TD Bank, we're looking for a close below 81.74 to give us a sell signal. Our next target is 84.38 on the upside. And then there's Bank of Nova Scotia looking for a close above 73.75 on Monday to give us a buy signal. New high for BlackBerry on Friday. Blackberries, we're seeing panic buying at the moment, and certainly this is not the time and place to be looking to put money into BlackBerry. Congratulations to anybody who's currently long BlackBerry. It's had an incredible run over the last couple of months. And then B2 Gold is on a buy signal, but it's coming up to the flypaper channel, and this is not a stock you should be too interested in. If you measure it against the index, the ETFs, or even Agnico Eagle, you can see that the market does not like that particular stock at this particular time. So, the B2 Gold's got a buy signal. Is it going to go anywhere? Probably not. Only time will tell. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, everybody seems to be happy and in a buying mood on Monday. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Tuesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.